Hello, and welcome to what can only be described as a post-mortem of the American television industry, or at least what's left of it after this year. Remember when we thought 2008 was bad? Buckle up, because 2024 just shoved 2008 into a locker, stole its lunch money, and then used that money to buy up the rights to any remaining show even vaguely resembling quality. Yes, today, we'll be discussing some significant changes in the American television landscape, and by significant changes, I mean the kind of corporate restructuring that would make a Wall Street vulture capitalist blush. We're talking mergers, we're talking closures, we're talking the kind of industry upheaval that makes you wonder if anyone at these networks even remembers what the word pilot season means anymore. So get ready to dive into the chaotic world of television layoffs, bankruptcies, and yes, even a glimmer of hope. Because in the world of media, just like in a Quentin Tarantino film, even the bloodiest massacre can have an unlikely survivor. Remember when Disney gobbled up ABC like a hungry hippo at a miniature marshmallow buffet? Well, get ready for round two, because this time ABC Signature, the studio behind shows like Grey's Anatomy and The Good Doctor, is getting folded into 20th television. Now you might be thinking, didn't Disney already own both of those? And you'd be right. But apparently, even for a company with more money than God, running two separate television studios is just too much of a hassle. So, what does this mean for the future of ABC Signature shows? Well, if history is any indication, probably a lot more product placement and maybe a gritty reboot of Boy Meets World set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hey, a comedy writer can dream, can't he? In a move that surprised absolutely no one, Paramount TV Studios, the studio that brought you such critically acclaimed hits as Yellowstone and, Yellowstone, has been absorbed into the gaping maw of CBS Studios. Look, let's be honest, we all saw this coming. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash where you know the car is also simultaneously on fire. Paramount Plus was hemorrhaging money faster than a network executive trying to explain the appeal of young Sheldon. The only real mystery here is how CBS managed to keep NCIS on the air long enough to justify this merger in the first place. I mean, seriously, that show is older than time itself. Chapter 3. Chicken Soup for the Bankrupt Soul. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, the company that promised us heartwarming stories and then delivered, well, more like lukewarm broth with a side of financial despair. This year, the once mighty media giant finally succumbed to the weight of its own debt, filing for bankruptcy and sending shockwaves through the industry. Who could have predicted that a company built on repackaging the same sentimental stories about puppies and grandparents wouldn't be a sustainable business model in the long run? But hey, at least they went bankrupt doing what they loved, exploiting the goodwill of the American public with aggressively mediocre content. Chapter 4. Participant media? More like didn't participate media, am I right? And now, for the saddest story of the day, the one that makes you want to hug your local librarian and thank them for their service to humanity, the closure of Participant Media. For years, Participant was the scrappy little studio that could, churning out critically acclaimed documentaries and socially conscious films like An Inconvenient Truth and Spotlight. They were the ones who dared to believe that entertainment could also be a force for good in the world. But alas, it seems like the only thing harder than making a profit in Hollywood is making a profit while also trying to save the world. So, pour one out for Participant Media, gone but not forgotten, and likely to be resurrected in 5 years as a subsidiary of Netflix churning out documentaries about the environmental impact of streaming. Chapter 5. WCBS Radio, still alive, somehow. And now, in a shocking turn of events for a story about something that didn't happen, the demise of WCBS Radio. That's right. In a media landscape littered with the corpses of fallen giants, WCBS Radio stands alone, a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. How did they do it, you ask? What's their secret? Honestly, we have no idea. Maybe they have a really good accountant. Maybe they made a deal with a crossroads demon. Or maybe, just maybe, in a world obsessed with the next big thing, there's still a place for the familiar comfort of AM radio static and traffic reports every 10 minutes. Whatever the reason, we salute you. WCBS Radio. Never change. Well, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the wreckage of the 2024 television landscape. It's enough to make you want to unplug your television, throw it out the window, and then immediately fish it out of the trash because you realize you were halfway through watching The Great British Baking Show. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on the ever-changing world of television, where the only constant is change and the only certainty is that, eventually, everything will be owned by either Apple or Amazon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Because if there's one thing this industry understands, it's the value of engagement metrics. Even if those metrics are about as reliable as a network executive's promise to keep it short.